Good evening and welcome to Justeventonline News at 9. I'm Anifat Ismail and with me is
Rashidat Murano.
The news headlines. Fed Govt, WHO push science-based reforms for safer food chain.
Edun, Cardoso to deepen fiscal-monetary policy coordination as inflation slows.
Tunji-Ojo decries porous borders underfunding of NIS.
Federal government opens portal for Youth Confab.
FIRS extends tax office operations to weekends in June.
CDS, police launch cross-border manhunt for Benue killers.
ECOWAS, Nigeria push for regional action against plastic waste.
IG, speakers clash as state police debate intensifies.
And that will be all on Justeventonline News at 9. Here's the recap of the story. Fed Govt, WHO push science-based reforms for safer food chain.
Edun, Cardoso to deepen fiscal-monetary policy coordination as inflation slows.
Tunji-Ojo decries porous borders underfunding of NIS.
Federal government opens portal for Youth Confab.
FIRS extends tax office operations to weekends in June.
CDS, police launch cross-border manhunt for Benue killers.
ECOWAS, Nigeria push for regional action against plastic waste.
IG, speakers clash as state police debate intensifies.
Now the news in details. The Fed Govt and the World Health Organization have renewed calls for science-driven efforts to tackle unsafe foods in Nigeria. They said stronger policies, innovation and stakeholder action across food supply chains were also necessary. The Permanent Secretary of Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and WHO country representatives, Walter Mulumbo, made the suggestion at this year's World Food Safety Day in Abuja.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, on Monday visited the headquarters of the Central Bank of Nigeria in Abuja to strengthen collaboration between fiscal and monetary authorities as inflationary pressures begins to moderate. A statement from the Ministry of Finance said the meeting comes in the wake of new data released by the National Bureau of Statistics, which showed that Nigerian headline inflation decelerated to 22.97% in May 2025, marking a marginal but significant shift in economic direction after months of persistent increases. During that discussion, both sides examined strategies to conciliate the progress and ensure that macroeconomic gains are not only sustained but translated into tangible benefits for the broader economy.
Interim Minister Tunji-Ojo has blamed the infiltration of Nigeria by foreigners kidnapping for ransom to fund terrorist activities in other countries on the porous nature of the borders. The minister noted that Nigeria is in the same situation the United States was before September 2011 terrorist attack on World Trade Center, with so much information and yet not knowing what to do with the information. Tunji-Ojo said the nation cannot afford to continue funding the police based on annual budgetary provisions and hope to achieve maximum results.
The federal government has launched the digital portal for the National Youth Conference 2025, signing the formal commencement of a National Youth gathering. Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, unveiled the portal for delegate registration, contribution, and real-time updates throughout the process. Olawande said, with the launch of the portal, the long-awaiting Youth Confab has commenced with the registration of delegates and virtual consultations.
The chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adedeji, has directed the extension of tax office operations to weekends for the month of June to cater to the annual company's income tax filing season. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the Special Assistant on Media to the FRS Chairman, Dare Adekombi, indicating that the move is part of Adedeji's commitment to matching the agency's customer-centric policy with tangible action.
The military and the police has launched a joint cross-border manhunt for the gunmen who killed around 200 villagers in Yelewata, Gume local government area of Benue State. Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, arrived in Makurdi and Yelewata on Monday to coordinate the operation that will target the suspected killers. Musa, after assessing the carnage, vowed to take the battle to the terrorists by changing the military strategy to fit the situation on ground, calling for community support.
As nations around the world mark World Environment Day, the Economic Community of West African States Commission and the Ministry of Environment joined forces to spotlight the urgent need to combat plastic pollution across West Africa. This year's theme, Together We Can Beat Plastic Pollution, resonated throughout the celebration held in Abuja on Tuesday, stressing the regional collaboration, environmental responsibility, and action over words.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, and the Conference of Speakers of State House of Assembly on Monday expressed divergent views on the advocacy for state police creation. While the police boss reiterated his earlier position that what the Nigerian police force needed to tackle the security challenges in the country was adequate funding, the chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State House of Assembly, Debo Ogudoyin, called for a multiple-layered policy model as obtained in other parts of the country. They spoke in Abuja at the Constitution Review Legislative Dialogue on the National Security Architecture.
And that will be all on Justeventonline news at 9. Here's the recap of the story. Fed Govt, WHO puts science-based reforms for safer food chain.
Edun, Cardoso to deepen fiscal-monetary policy coordination as inflation slows.
Tunji-Ojo decries porous borders, underfunding of NIS. Thank you for watching Justeventonline news. One of the key values of life is sincerity and integrity. Therefore, be plain and transparent in every of your dealings. For more news, visit www.justeventonline.com.
And to read more updates, follow us on our social media platform with a tab at Justeventonline.
You can also send us an email on justeventonline@gmail.com. I'm Manhunt Ismail, and with me,
Rashidat Morano.
good night.